Talking to Charlton manager Karl Robinson ahead of Saturday's trip to promotion chasing Bolton. Karl, the January transfer window is about to close. Are you likely to be doing any last minute business, or will anyone be leaving the club?
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
Listen, I think I've had an awful lot of difficulties in the window last few sort of days in some ways where I've also not. I can't be selfish and worry about what Karl Robinson does today. I've got to worry about the fundamental factors, the right players for Charlton Athletic over the next few years. And if I've got to miss out on things now because it's not right, well, I have to do so. But what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to put this club in any jeopardy and do some silly things in this silly window in some ways. I'm still after a top signing. I think I still need that in certain aspects of the club. I can't say where. I think it's been unfair on the players that we already have. And I certainly think people have to leave the building, yes.
There's been speculation about Nicky Josie going to Southend. Can you comment on that?
I think there'll always be speculation when you've got a player like Nicky Josie who's not playing. But I think there's a few clubs who have phoned me over him about his availability. Right now, I'm not too sure whether it's going to be right for us. It might be right for him, but it has to be right for Charlton Athletic, and that's the decision that I have to take. And it's not a case Nicky's done anything wrong. It's not a case of that. It's just a case of I fancy other strikers before him at this moment in time, and that's just part and parcel. But it's fair to Nicky. He understands that as well. He totally takes that on board. But we'll see.
So you're prepared to be patient?
I'm not patient. I'm not good at patience. I'm rubbish at being patient. But I have to be right. I've always said I want to be here for the long haul, and I've built a team before, and I know what it takes. Maybe the integration of some younger players, and let them grow and build with the club if we want to do what we really set out to achieve. Sometimes by bringing in some senior players who are a little bit older, maybe they have a shelf life in some ways, and I'm not prepared to do that. I want to bring in players that have longevity and can sustain the club's success over a number of years, and that's how I've got to look at it. It's frustrating in some ways, but this is not anybody else's. This is my opinion on how I think it should be done. I look at the likes of Barnsley and what they did and how long that took for them to get that together. I look at Bournemouth. Okay, I know they had some marquee signings in there as well, but there's clubs who've done it with younger players and with the right type of players, bed them in. I know even Barnsley got close to the bottom four at some stage, and then they went on and sustaining themselves in the Championship at the moment and doing a wonderful job. So there's an awful lot of work going on behind the scenes, and I don't think it's so much in this window we'll see a massive sort of movement. It'd be a case of starting off talks now for the summer, but I'm still looking for that one signing, and it's hard because this is just a stupid window. It makes no sense, January. So,
fair to say you're not a fan of the January window?
Well, no, because of inflated prices, because people are so scared to lose them, people are so in a hurry to do something. I think coming in as a manager and in the first week in Jan and then expected to overhaul a club in 4 weeks is an impossibility. It's a catastrophe in some ways, and some people will carry away themselves and spend stupid money for immediate success and long-term failure, and that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here for the long term and the long game. Everything is taken. People laugh at that comment, obviously, but I can't worry about what people think. It's a case of I've got to believe that I want to be here for a while, and I want to take this football club in the right direction. A lot of work has to be done. I have to dedicate my life to it first and foremost, and I have to have partner players who feel that they're lucky to play for Charlton Athletic, not that Charlton Athletic are lucky to have them. And that's one thing that I'm very conscious of.
At this time last week, we were confronting a colossal injury list. Have matters improved since then, and who will be available to you at Bolton who wasn't last week?
No one. Just Tony and Ricky are probably another week further on, which gives us more hope. Lee Novak will be fit, definitely. And Patrick's training today, so we'll see where he's at. But that's his first day of training, so that's not trying to play a game. That's as honest and as straight as it can get.
Bolton are flying high under former Charlton boss Phil Parkinson. Would you, if you get something there, will you put that down to a marker on how your season's been going?
It's hard because, and it's not a personal marker because it's not. This is not about. I'm not going to see dramatic change in where I want to go right away, but I've already seen a marker in training. When I first walked in the door, we did one or two things, and the results have improved over certain aspects. And don't think this is because we're fitter. It's an old way of looking at things. Oh, they weren't fit when I took over. I've not said that at all. Just how I expect my teams to play requires something that they didn't have. If I was walking to another club and maybe the person who took over from me will want something different out of his players that he doesn't foresee them having at that particular time. So we're working hard trying to implement one or two things in the training ground, and the players' mentality has been excellent. Listen, we've had a horrific 7 days with where to train. Sparrows Lane's been like a car park, concrete one, and we've had no movement in the ground at all. We got half of the valley the other day by double covering the part of it. I believe it's got down to -6, the wind chill today, as we're training. So it's going to be a cold one.
Owing to postponements, you've got 7 games to play in February. Is that going to determine your season?
100%. Yeah. Listen, you come out of that, I'm not too sure how many games there is to go. But you come out of them games with it's 15 points. So it can put you in touching distance of what you think you can achieve. Nobody at this place has thrown a towel in just yet. I think everybody's talking about next season in some ways. Main fans talking about next season and stuff like that, getting things right now. And one fan said to me the other day, it's about getting the club clean and fresh to start next season. I get that. I understood what the fan was saying to me, but I still can't just roll over this year. There's still so much to achieve, and I don't think any Charlton Athletic club should just accept wait for next year. If it happens to be next year, well, that's part and parcel of the industry. But right now, we're certainly in the mix. And don't forget, after we play the next 4 games of Bolton, Fleetwood, and Rochdale, we've played most of the top teams. We've had the most difficult run of fixtures since January, as you well know. I think we only played 1 team below us. So, or 1 team outside the top 10, I think it was. Someone said to me the other day. So it's we've played a lot of the big boys since we've walked in. So there's a lot of games to go, and it's about just being touching distance coming into the middle of Feb, and then coming out of it, you should start getting yourself in sort of much more contention, and that's the aim. Listen, the players here have been magnificent and very fond of the work ethic at the moment, and the discipline, the self-discipline, the group discipline, and hopefully that'll continue.
Karl Robinson, thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.